Realistically, I probably could just start red and 3 camp, clear my way over, and just kill her on her red, but I'm not going to right now because I don't feel like it. Gonna solo start blue side. Maybe I should go for level 3, but not sure. A slightly weaker level 3 because obviously having red buff for the slow and extra little bit of damage early game more useful, but I went.
All will know us in time.
The chase ends.
More lie ahead, do you think?
First love.
There's a Lilia, as expected. Why would you flash for your red like that? Why would you flash for your red like that? You gave me 400 gold, or not 400, sorry, 300 gold, your flash anyways, and the mark. That is, interesting.
Those who dread us grant us the most power.
RNG on my side. Ooh, and RNG's on my side. Double mark, let's go.
That was a good chase.
Did I think Lilia's flash? I did not.
I smell their fear.
An ally has been slain.
I can't go in there. If I do, I die. What is this? This game right now is a diamond game. Mira, are you dying 1v2 down here? Yeah, because you went in solo. Okay, I can walk away here. Fine. Actually, wonder if this is warded.
An ally has been slain.
I should be able to sneak into this bush without Vision seeing me. Oh, you saw a barrier. Why do you still have barrier? I honestly thought she would have used barrier since she killed Samira earlier, or not Samira, Pike earlier. That's fine though. They both die and I get the assist.
Though many sigh.
I honestly didn't think she would still have her barrier up. That was dumb of me. Pain.
We are not dreams. We
Oh, he has bot side. I want to go for dragon.
An ally
Yes.
has been slain. An enemy has been slain.
Ready to chase. Too bad.
now.
Yeah. Not enough to kill her. Alright, she'll go top side, most likely get grubs. LeBlanc comes over here, I'm instantly dead though. And this is also one of the more dangerous dragons to do when you're low early on, because this dragon's fucking attack speed ramps up. I'm gonna die to it if I'm not careful. I actually might still die. Jesus.
Yet they are never
You
prepared.
didn't grab grubs, really? Huh.
I hope this one has strong legs.
That's sweet by grubs. Took long enough.
Hush now. Rest. Love hunted dear wolf.
Drake killed you so many times. Yeah, because the lower its health, its attack speed ramps up, and it does a good amount of damage fairly quickly. The most annoying Drakes to solo early on are Chem Drake, Ocean Drake, and Cloud Drake. They're the most annoying ones to solo early on, because Ocean perma-slows you, and then Chem Drake and Air Drake, their attack speed gets really annoying really quickly.
Stick in my claws.
All things linear.
I'm holding my W because LeBlanc's almost back. Probably should have held my E too, if I'm being honest here. Okay, that should be fine.
Dear wolf. Those who run through that still in life.
Killing spree.
You know what? Kill your ward too.
Wait for them to flee.
Wonder if my blue side has anything up left in it. It shouldn't, but then again, this Lilia's pathing has been strange, so it might.
And everywhere Lamb went.
Well. My blue buff is surely dead. She's on the Raptors right now. Okay, yeah, my blue buff is dead.
All things
She's on the Raptors because the mark's in a different spot than it should be. That's already gone. I think her and Fiora also might be duo, to be fair, since they do have matching skins.
Rampage.
there are so many ways to die.
So that also kind of might explain why she's playing topside a lot. Rogues respawned. My bot side should get poached for me, but that's fine.
Killing spree.
Fear makes the chase more fun.
I do love when people pick Lilia into Kindred.
All life is
Thank you for just making this so easy for me. I don't know why people would ever pick Lilia into Kindred, considering my champion counters yours, but thank you for just deciding that the first pick Kindred should get a free matchup. I do love it so much. Stop fucking picking Lilia into Kindred, please. Kindred just gets so fed for free in the matchup, man.
return to me.
I got them both.
Double kill.
Good barrier up still.
An enemy has been slain.
The only true death is to never live.
All who run are mine.
Unstoppable. An enemy has been slain.
And I can't get her. Sad. Here he is, destroyed.
Wolf
Main thing about Kindred is
not willingly go.
don't build crit every game, because Kindred can build fighter items, they can build on-hit items, you can build tanky items if you really need it. You're gonna have to base your build around the enemy team, but also it's a lot of Kindred is just like knowing how to like position in fights and use your ult properly. I'm trying to think of the best way to word it but it doesn't just sound dumb. Like, don't int for marks either. One of the main things, especially if you're new to the champion, Kindred does not need the marks to win the game. The marks are nice, and you should try to get marks when you can, but it is not worth killing yourself for marks. Because at the end of the day, yeah, you might get 1, you might get 2 marks, but if you give up, you know, 1,000 plus gold just to get marks, and you end up an item or 2 behind because you wanted to get marks, you're not going to win. The marks aren't worth that much. You should try to get marks when you can. The 4th mark is the most important mark. Anything after 4 genuinely is irrelevant, and it's just really is a bonus. I mean, anything before 4 is still a bonus, but you want to try to get at least 4 marks, but don't lose the game for marks. It's not worth giving up a shit ton of gold for it. That's something a lot of people do when they start playing the champion. Because the marks don't actually increase your stats all that much as people think, other than certain marks giving you attack range.
Few are
And the 4th mark giving you 75 attack range obviously is a lot of range. But the actual stats the marks give is like 5% attack speed or like something like that. It's like 5 or 6, I don't remember. Or in a little bit, a tiny little bit of damage on your E and W. It's really not worth losing games over because people do it way too much. Also, if you don't know how the passive works, the passive is not RNG. Well, okay. It is RNG in a sense, but you can manipulate it and you can force every mark except for the 1st mark to spawn where you want to. Because your marks spawn in tier sets, and since they only spawn in the enemy jungle, if you know what's alive and what's dead in the enemy jungle, you can force the mark to kind of spawn where you want it to. Like, for example, right now, I have 4 marks, which means only the enemy red, blue, Krugs, and Wolves can mark. So that means I can essentially, if I, like... Oh,
not here.
could have been bad. And... that's not good. Oh, she got that. Did I get for not paying attention? I kind of wish they didn't run to the objective, though, and I don't know why they would do that. But it is what it is. They kind of griefed me there, because they could have just fought in mid or stayed to the turret, but it's okay. But, like, because, like, with the 4 marks, only the, like, this camp, this camp, this camp, and this camp can mark. So, like, for example, if I know the enemy red and Krugs are dead, and I know the blue hasn't respawned yet, but the wolves are alive, the only place your mark can spawn is on the wolves. So you can essentially wait that out and grab wolves when they mark. Because all of Kindred's marks are based in tier sets.
Wolf was sure to follow.
That's one way to, like, a skill that a lot of people don't use. I also am really lazy, and a lot of times I refuse to just put any effort into it because I'm lazy and you don't need them. But, yeah. If you really want to play optimally, tracking marks and things is really important.
Has been destroyed.
But I am the king of lazy when it comes to playing League, so, you know, I just like to do dumb builds instead and win games in ways that I shouldn't, and then get people to be mad at me because I won a game in a way I shouldn't. Mirror, kill her, let's go.
What do our stories have in common, dear Wolf?
I smell
Your
them.
team has destroyed the turret.
I like build on here. I mean, pretty much, like, look at your team and look at the enemy team and just think what would be more useful. Like, if the enemy team's really squishy or you're in a favorable matchup, like, I'm against a really squishy enemy team for the most part, other than Lilia might build some tanky items, but probably not, and Kindred counters Lilia. I can just build crit and one-shot their team, because they're all going to want to be damage players. They all picked carry champions. So they're all essentially going to build mostly damage and not really any defensive things, except for maybe, like, a Death Dance or Tabby or something. So at that point, because I already know I'm in a favorable matchup where I want to invade a lot and I want to fight a lot, plus they're squishy, you know, like, crit's obviously good for that, and I'm going to snowball. But, like, if I need defensive stats or survivability or something, obviously going on hit, like, if I was behind in this matchup, when they have things like a LeBlanc, a Kali, you know, a Lilia, things like, what's her name, Ashe and stuff, you could go, like, on hit and go wits and stuff for the tenacity and the MR and the survivability and stuff. Or, like, if they're stacking a lot of health, you can go things like Bork. And you just kind of just base it on the, like, what does the enemy team have and what you have matchup. Like, if I have a full AD team, for example, you know, I'm probably not going to build crit with a full AD team if they have something, if the enemy team has something tanky, because that's irrelevant, because at that point they're going to build armor. So at that, instead I would just go on hit and just build, like, Kraken and, like, Cleaver to get my entire team pen and things. And it's just kind of basing what you see on the enemy team and your team. Which is why, if you're new to the game or anything, one of the most useful things you can do is just read items and then think about how the items would interact with your champion. That's like one of the biggest things you can do to improve as a player. Will you stop CCing me, please? Leave me alone.
Once more before the end.
Alright, I killed myself. It's fine though, they're dead. I'm glad that Samira actually listened to my pings. Samira didn't know she was there, but she listened to my pings, so she got the kill on the LeBlanc backing there. Because she shot a Q into the bush and killed LeBlanc. You always build the same items every game? Yeah, that's something you shouldn't do if you're, like, actively trying to play a champ like Kindred, because one of the things is, like,
Its heart beats fast.
you can make any, like, you can make crit builds or on hit builds work every game, but when you have a champion that can do more than one build, there's no reason to set yourself behind by only doing one build if it's suboptimal in the game. Like, sometimes you have to accept the fact, especially on champions like Kindred, who can build pretty much anything except for AP. You kind of have to accept the fact that sometimes you might be behind, or sometimes you don't need to be the main damage carry. Sometimes you just need to get the objectives and be there to help your team and, like, get some ganks, you know, just put pressure on the map, but you don't need to be the person doing 100,000 damage every game. Sometimes you just can be kind of more of a supportive player and just play the map instead of just playing the damage game. The League's not team deathmatch. It's not. League is still an objective-based game. Getting objectives will win you games. You don't have to play it like it's team deathmatch. Your KDA and your big damage number isn't the only thing that matters, and you can have a good KDA, but nobody cares about your KDA if you lose at the end of the day. Nobody cares if you're 10-0, but you know you did 10 damage and you just last hit somebody, or you gave up Dragon Soul for free. All that stuff is irrelevant at the end of the day if you're not winning. I'm dead. Yeah. LeBlanc just murdered me. I should have went for the mark. Dead. Like, for example, though, in this game, yes, I'm building crit because I knew I was in a favorable matchup and they're squishy. To be fair, though, realistically, building things like Wits non-hit would probably be more valuable, just in the sense of I already have a Fed Syndra and I have a Samira and a Pike. I really don't need to be the main damage carry. I'm just greedy and I like to bully Lilia players because Lilia gets countered by Kindred. But realistically, I would be better off if I just built, like, Wits and things and they couldn't kill me at all with their team comp.
Weave of fate guides.
The hunt is back on.
An ally has been slain.
Those who run from death
Godlike.
I guess at the end of the day too, when it comes to like the building and stuff, at the end of the day, I guess it depends what you value more. Like if you're somebody who plays ranked and you actually want to get better at the game, it's kind of learning to not just have to try to be the anime protagonist every game. But if you're somebody who just plays for fun or plays normals, I mean, if you like the damage builds, then go for that too. Or if you're somebody stupid like me, you just build whatever you want that doesn't make any sense to half the people and then you win the game anyways. Full bruiser. You shouldn't really do full like bruiser builds. Like you can build fighter and tanky items, but you really should kind of mainly not do it. Like you could do like crack and triforce and like things like cleaver and like stuff like that, but other than like that, you really shouldn't build things like Sojin and stuff. They're not really worth it. Like Kindred doesn't really use CDR the same way a lot of other champs do because of the way your W and Q interact. Oh, we're diving already. Did not know we were diving that. But things like a decent build that you can do if you want survivability to like you're not focused on damage is like Kraken, Terminus, Jack Cho, and like Cleaver and Sterox can be a really strong build. If you're just going for survivability and things while having okay damage but not being like the main damage carry. Because Jack Cho and Terminus work really well together because of the Jack Cho passive and Terminus passive act really well for the extra 30% armor and magic resist, and then on top of that, Cleaver giving you like the armor pen for your team plus the HP, and Sterox shield scaling off of HP while also giving you damage based on HP can go really well together. You end up with like 4 to 5k health while also having like a 1500 to a 2k health shield, and still decent damage. Not great damage, but decent if you really need it. I'll be completely different with different builds. I mean, well, yeah, some builds you are going to be different because, like, if you're going on hit or like fighter items and stuff, or like survivability builds, obviously you can play more up in the front line and stuff. Whereas obviously with crit, you're bursty, but you're squishy. Like I'm really squishy right now. I really should not be walking out of Fiora. Like she almost kills me there because I'm really squishy. Your positioning and everything changes based on the items and stuff you have. And, like. It can be very, very different. Okay, let's just do Baron. I want Baron? Why do we not want Baron? I know Baron. Now we want Baron? Okay. Polly is a... I'm assuming she means melee. What the fuck does being a melee abuser mean? Range champions have such an advantage over fucking melee champs, dude. If you're not a range champ, you have such a, like, oh my. There's no way a LeBlanc player is calling a Kali player. Oh man, there's no shot. What? There's no shot though. I'm so confused. No problem, Muhammad.
Legendary.
Yet they are not.
Your team has destroyed a turret. Your team has destroyed an inhibitor. An enemy has been slain. Unstoppable.
a big dinosaur. Look at him walking around. Big dinosaur doing dinosaur things. Dude, this is just another case in point, though, of what I was saying in the game, too, is, like, KDA doesn't mean anything at the end of the day, because you could do little damage, or you can, like, win the games other ways. Like, I have 15 kills, he has 6 kills, he did almost as much damage as me. Did I play bad? No, I got all the objectives, I bullied the Lilia, I invaded her, I did what I needed to do, I helped my laners. But at the end of the day, KDA is an irrelevant stat when it comes to how much damage and how much influence you put in fights and stuff a lot of the time, because somebody with a low KDA can do just as much damage as somebody with a high KDA. And vice versa, you can have a high KDA, but just because were in the right position at the right time, or you could have gotten all the dragons or whatever. That's why people look at the wrong stats and they're just like, well, my KDA was good, so I have to be playing well. It's like, no. Your KDA means fucking nothing at the end of the day, depending on how you play the game. Because it's still an objective-based game. But people, they don't like to hear that. Oh, yeah.